Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I am Chelsea, you know that, I know that. And would you look at that? It's the end of the month and that means that it is that time for us to check back in with Mikayla Nogueira and see what type of clout gobblery that she is up to. Because don't get it twisted, she's gonna be up to it. Also during this video, you're probably gonna hear my kid yelling because he's playing right now. I just got him like 4 new balls, so he's real excited. But he's playing out there, not unsupervised, that'd be crazy. But so that I can optimize my time, I need to get ready to film my podcast episode here for the Clout Podcast later tonight. And I only have my childcare for about another hour. So let's go ahead and get ready while we are talking about this. And guess what? This is my lunch. Do y'all have these Chipwich? Girl, so good.
Go on a f***ing nature walk, bro. Touch grass.
All right, now let's go over who Mikayla Nogueira is real quick. Actually, you already know. Basically. But Mikayla Nogueira is a beauty influencer, a content creator. Try being an influencer for a day. Girl, you try being an ethical influencer for a day. Plot twist, you can't. Now, Mikayla is very much so someone who does not disclose ads, is very disingenuous, calculated when it comes to kind of like planting the seed in terms of marketing when it comes to like collabs and stuff that she's doing. And listen, there's a way to do that ethically and a way to do that unethically. And personally, I think that Mikayla Nogueira is extremely unethical in terms of marketing and not disclosing her sponsorships and things like that. And then also the way she filters herself into another entity, basically. It is so crazy. So, hey, am I a hater? Yeah, absolutely. Do I hate her? No, I don't like know her personally, so I don't think I can hate her. But do I very much so hate her actions and the way that she absolutely is just out here lying on the internet? And it's like, girl, for what? Like, you don't look bad. You don't. Just and don't filter yourself. Like, that makes you look so dumb, in my opinion. Like, that is embarrassing. Even if you did look bad. Who the f cares? I mean, obviously she cares. Anyways, there's like a whole nuance to this conversation, but I know there are going to be people who are like, oh my gosh, you're making fun of the filtering or like her body. And it's like, no, I'm not. That's not her body. That sure as f is not her body. Let me tell you. Also, speaking of FTC compliance and, you know, abiding by those guidelines, this is the typology products that I'm using today, just like putting on my face. And they are not a sponsor of this video. However, they are a sponsor of my channel in general. So, you know, you'll see me use those. I'll have those linked down below and whatnot. Actually, speaking of the sponsor of this video, let's go ahead and do an FTC compliant ad integration, shall we? Don't mind if I do. Uncle Reggie here, it's me, I'm back. Now, if you know anything about something, you know that the internet is trying to get into your brain. So you got to watch out where that information comes from. Big media is trying to get to you. Just look at me. They already got to me. They got me wearing makeup. And now I know Chelsea talks about schemes. The biggest scheme of them all, X. No, not one of them sites. The one that used to be the Twitter. Just announced its 2025 roadmap to become the everything app. What's that mean? We're talking TV services. We're talking that Elon Musk doing everything. Payments, articles, words, pictures, who knows what else. Now let me repeat myself. That Musk fella with his newfound government position would have unprecedented control over social media, TV, and our monies. And yet absolutely no one on the left is talking about it. I went over to Ground News. Y'all know Chelsea had Wiggum set me up with it. He's just the best. And I found over 60 sources talking about this, talking about that Musk fella. And they're all talking about cryptocurrency's integration. Since he's been talking about that Dogecoin for years. He's been hyping it up. Now, I don't know about any Dogecoin, but if you go down and keep scrolling and scrolling, you'll see how the different sides are spinning it. Chalking it up to WeChat's success in China, while the other side of reality is pointing out how centralized mobile services under one company raises concerns about data privacies, monopolistic controls. For that guy with the little monocle, monopoly. It's a real thing. Did you know that? And potential surveillance risks. What are you doing? I'm just trying to help. I leave for a minute. Well, you weren't here doing your job telling them. No, I went to the bathroom. Okay. I'll leave. No, I'm taking the chair with me. I'm taking Wiggum with me, too. I'm sure by now you know this is a Ground News ad read, so I'll just try to pick up where he left off, I guess. Ground News is my go-to news platform and one of my favorite sponsors. Not only are they trying to help me with Uncle Reggie, did you see that tinfoil baseball cap? Like, what's going on? But they were also founded by a female former NASA engineer who saw a much bigger problem here on Earth other than, you know, up in space or wherever you think the aliens are. And they're the only app out there helping you think for yourself. and see all sides. By gathering articles from thousands of sources around the world, organizing them by story, then analyzing the political lean, credibility, and even financial incentives behind each perspective, Ground News makes it easier for me and you to compare coverage and think critically. Follow your favorite topics, and maybe you'll find angles that you haven't even looked at or thought of before, thanks to their blind spot feed. And that surfaces more important news from the right and the left media bubble, because news that you are missing affects you just as much as news that you are seeing. That's a bar right there. Go to ground.news/cc or click the link in my description box to sign up for the plan that I use every day. You'll save 40% off of their Vantage plan, and that knocks down the cost to just $5 a month. Anyways, enough of that. Back to Mikayla Nogueira. Now, this girlie, over November, December, and a good amount of January as well, she was crying on the internet, getting so much, I don't even want to say attention, but I mean, that's what it was. She's being extra clout goblin-y, and sad fishing, in my opinion, and then getting mad when people were talking about it and when people were speculating, which, hey, you're a public figure. Does that suck? Yeah, obviously, that people do that, like when you're having a hard time. But then, I don't know, just like don't sad fish as much, I feel like. Now, she went on and on and on about how she can't talk about anything, or, you know, she can't talk about it yet. It has nothing to do with like her job on the internet. And people were like asking where her husband was, and she's like, oh, he's right here, but she like hadn't included him in a while. People were speculating, you know, about his sobriety, which is super sad if true. Wish the best for him. I also don't think that if your spouse is actively battling their sobriety, listen, if you've been like sober forever, whatever, but if your spouse is like actively battling with sobriety, I don't think that you should be going out on, I don't want to say benders, but you know, drinking so much on these brand trips, or like really drinking at all. And that's so important for people who are in that part or that journey of their sobriety to not have other people around them doing that. A lot of the times, that's why when you come back home from rehab or treatment or whatever, I would know, I've been there, not with alcohol, but with other things. And it was so important for me to not be around the friends that I was with that would do those things. And even, you know, my family, like for the first, I want to say 6 months of me being home after I came home from treatment. And again, not trying to make this about myself. Clearly, that's not what this is about, but just adding some context here, because I know there are going to be people who are like, don't speak on someone else's sobriety. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying like, hey, I don't think that that's a good idea that she's doing that. And here's why. Thanks. But it's just so wild. Like, how dare you, right? And hey, that might not be what he struggles with, but she has like alluded to that since people have called her out for that and been like, hey, like your husband's at home or wherever. People thought he was like in rehab, and that's why they hadn't seen him. And that's like why she was like struggling or whatever. But people were asking in her comment section, like, is it like genuine question? Like, how does your husband feel about like you being in Vegas currently and like drinking a lot and, you know, consuming this much alcohol when he's apparently struggling with his sobriety? And she said something along the lines of like, he's not here and I don't show this to him. And it's like, what? Does he not follow you on social media? Like, do you not think he's going to see this? Like, what? It's just so disrespectful. If any of that is true, then that is disrespectful. Obviously, I don't know their relationship. I don't live with them. Thank forking God. Because have you seen the walls and the shelves of that house? It is super wonky. It's like Dr. Seuss is their architect, which slay on queen. I love that, I guess. It's just so crazy to me. I cannot. So Mikayla Nogueira came out on another video recently after she like went on and on and on and was sad fishing so much and like couldn't get out of bed and was like eating McDonald's in her bed, which like, what are you doing? Eating in bed is a red flag. But it's just so strange to me that she then came on, again, rage baiting in my opinion, came on recently and was like, people who like struggle with anxiety, essentially saying just go for a walk, or like it can be cured with this, or like it's not that big of a deal, and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, girl, weren't you the one who was just crying on the internet for literally 2 months straight and being so vague about everything? Like, what are you talking about? How dare you say that?
Mikayla, we talked about her a couple weeks ago, about how she was kind of going through a mental health journey, whatever. Then I saw she posted a new TikTok where she was talking about other people like going through stuff, and she's saying shit's not that deep, bro. Go touch grass.
She's saying this?
Yeah.
About what? Who?
Here, let me play.
That's
let me
crazy.
Play and see.
She's another wild one who was just like, girl, like, pick a side. You're flip-flopping all over the place. Like, that's crazy.
Not everything can just be cured by going outside or going for a walk or like going to the beach. Bitch, I'm still gonna have postpartum rage if I walk outside. I'll probably have it more.
Lowering anxiety. Everything used to stress me out. Everything used to give me anxiety. Like, I couldn't go a day without feeling it. I came to learn, it's not that deep, bro. Look at how many times you've suffered anxiety attacks and you came out on the other side. You know? I let the anxiety win. That. Everyone experiences anxiety, one form or another. It's how you cope with it. Go on a fucking nature walk, bro. Touch grass. Do not let it consume you. Genuinely believe anxiety can be overcome with the right mindset.
Now, one thing y'all know that I love absolutely to call out, probably the most about Mikayla Nogueira, is her filtering of photos. And sometimes it's just like so crazy and comical. And other times it's just like, are you okay? Like, genuinely, are you okay? Like, that's not you. That's not you. And don't get me wrong. Hey girl, I completely understand that we can look completely different with, front facing camera or back facing camera, or different lighting, or, different angles, a different outfit, different makeup, different poses, whatever. There are many times that I look like an absolute gremlin. And then there's other times where I look insanely good. However, you cannot tell me that these two people are the same. And keep in mind, all of these were taken within like a month or two of each other. Or hey, the same night. This one, the same night. This is her footage versus the brand that she was working with that night, or that was hosting the event that she went to. Like, what is going on here? And then here's some other ones from when she was recently in LA. I believe it was like last week or this past weekend. And then she went to Vegas. And here's one that she posted. Girl, tell me why your head is that tiny. Why is your head that tiny? It's giving like the Instagram versus reality subreddit, where I think it's a South Korean trend that they'll make their heads so tiny when it comes to like filtering pictures, not just like a general trend. But in pictures, they will make their heads so tiny. It is so strange. Don't know why they do that. Not everyone. Again, just a few. That subreddit's one of my favorites. It is so absolutely insane. But here is what Mikayla posted. And then here is like a paused version or paused part of the video that another person posted. It is so wild. It's like, girl, we have eyes. We have eyes. And again, I understand being in different lighting, being glam. If you're smiling, your nose looks more wide when you smile, because obviously like your nasal labial, whatever the hell, folds, and your cheeks are like strutting your nose. You got it. Okay, I look like a psycho. And then obviously when you're, mewing, then it's gonna look skinnier. However, for a lot of these, that's not the case. And like, okay, I wouldn't change it that much. Now, do I think that there are people who would make fun of her no matter what? Like make fun of the real her too? Absolutely. Yes. 1,000,000,000%. There's always going to be people when you are a public figure, when you are, someone with an audience, whatever, who hate you for literally no reason, or whatever reason they have that they think is valid, they're going to hate you for it, right? But a lot less people would dislike her, myself included, if she wasn't the most fake person on the internet.
I think what people don't maybe know about me is that I went to school for this. It's something I really do care about, and it's something that really affects me, and I want to be open about it and talk about it because I see how it affects everyone. But in my videos, I don't use filters, right? If I have acne, I show it. If I have darkness under my eyes because I didn't sleep the night before, I show it. I'm very open about how I look on TikTok and on camera because that's how I look.
So this picture right here, an influencer friend of mine, I was talking with him about it, and actually about like a different picture of her as well. And I sent it to him and I was like, what in the Face app? Because anyone who uses Face app, look at this. Girl, you know that is the Hollywood filter on like level 3, and then the hair volume filter on like level 4. We all know. I know that that's that. Listen, girl, if my hair has fallen and she's looking real flat or like pushed back or something's freaking weird, yes, absolutely. I've used that before to brighten, if we're like at the beach or something and like wearing hats or, to brighten faces. Heck yeah, I've used that before. To put teeth on my baby because it's hilarious. Yes, I've used that before. But I also know that when you're using an app like Face app, especially the like hair volume one, you have to like erase the effects on your neck and then like on other certain parts because it'll like blend into other parts of you. So for instance, if we zoom into her necklace, there's like a black line that goes across. You could be like, Chelsea, that's just her neckline. I don't think so. Why would it be black right there? So I think that is because of like I just said, sometimes it can like make the hairs like merge into like something else if you don't go in and erase this part and then like certain other parts too. And a lot of, if not most of or all of those facial filters on that app, they're like pre-done, like the preset ones. They won't technically like reshape your face, but like they do because of like the shadows, basically like where the shadows are placed. Now, I've said many times before, I don't think that's what she's using to edit her actual videos. I don't know what she uses to edit that. Everyone always has suggestions in the comments, but unfortunately, typically a lot of those are wrong because I have tried them. I've tried them so many times to try to, not for my own benefit. That would be weird, but to try to like replicate kind of like what she's doing for a video, you know? I don't know. I'm just so confused and I can't let it go because there's one thing about me, I can't let it go. Also, my neck's getting red. Also, I'm gonna take my kid for a walk. So, which good thing this is just tinted skincare and not makeup, right?
I can only speak from personal experience with filters and editing because I've been on the internet. We all get on the internet pretty young, I feel like. I've been on there since I was maybe 10. You see the way magazines edit people. You see the way people are edited on social media. You see the way people, even on TV and ads and everything is edited. And it definitely makes you think that you have to do it too.
All right, friends. I'm sorry this is a shorter video, but I needed to call it out. Like, girl, what are you doing? You know that you're going to be around your friends who aren't going to edit you like how you want to be edited. Like when she's in the background of her friends that she's like with on this trip, or was with on this trip, I'm sure it's probably over now, but when she is in the background of their videos, like that's not the version of yourself that you post. Like whomst? Mikayla, whomst is that? I don't know, man. It's fucking wild. And it's crazy to me that like she has catfished her way to being a multi-millionaire. And if it was like just catfishing with makeup and like pure talent with that, awesome. Love that so much. Like I'm obsessed with that. I love those types of transformations, like the power of makeup type thing, right? From like a surface level. So obviously the power of makeup has more to do with like internal, like what it does for you and emotionally, but that's not what this is. Like, yes, can you make yourself look different with shadows and highlighting and how you're doing your makeup? Absolutely. But again, that does not apply here because this person and that person, not the same person. One thing I do think is interesting is that someone posted like, oh, here's the difference between like the photo she posted and then the photo her friend posted. And Mikayla was like the same in both photos, it looked like. But then when you go over to, you know, the other one or whatever, then like you can see a bunch of edits, but you can't see any edits on her. So I think what maybe, all speculation, what she does is that she will have whoever take the photo like with her phone and then she'll edit it. Like she'll edit herself and then send the picture out to like whoever. And it's like, okay, here you go. Here's the picture. Which like, girl, that's too much time. That's too much time. I don't know. That's crazy, man. So anyways, I hope y'all have a great day, night, weekend, whenever you're watching this. If you are subscribed to my channel, thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. If you're not subscribed to my channel, you're dead to me. What are you doing? I don't know. But if you are subscribed, did you know that at the end of every video, I tell you that your butt looks good? Girl, your butt doesn't need a filter. You don't need to Facetune, FaceApp, Canva. I don't know what other apps are out there. Yeah, you don't need to do that. You don't need like AI enhancement because your cheeks look so good, so plump and luscious. And I'm honestly so proud of you. If you're not subscribed, please do. Like I said, then your butt will look good. It's a guarantee 100% of the time. Don't look that up. And also if you would like your boobs to look good, I guess, or your armpits to not smell, go to the Here for the Clout podcast. You can watch here on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. But honestly, YouTube is better because then you get to see how stupid we look, I guess. All right. That's really it, I think. Okay. I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.